What's good, people? It's about the time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. Now, let me jump into something because I got a bunch of videos that I got coming up. This one will fall in between somewhere. Probably last, because it's going to be the shortest and the last one that I'm doing for the day. Listen, enough of the silly shit. As long as we keep talking about it, it's still going to be silly shit because it still ain't adding up. This whole glove gate situation, just leaving dinner, kicking it with some brothers, and the funny thing is this, right? It was 12 of us, okay, broken up, six around the restaurant, and we're chilling outside. We come out there, we eating it, we're just all having a good time, and nobody believes this glove gate shit. And I think what people don't understand, this ain't got shit to do with people don't like Wilder. If this was fucking AJ, and the evidence that what people are calling evidence is facts, I would be saying the same thing, but you don't know that. You don't know. Like, we don't know. Because we're looking at a photo, but we're choosing to look at the photo that the pro Wilder channels pointed out. What the fuck did you think that they did special? Okay? All they did was fucking took a photo, screenshot of the fucking photo, or however, whatever. That's all they did. It's not like they went in the fucking ring and took the fucking... All they did was took a picture. There's many other pictures that they overlook. Like the ones that you can clearly see there's no ridges, there's no bulge from any object, anything where the glove just looks smooth or has that little dent. First off, what y'all need to understand, all gloves are not new, okay? They're not all new. Many gloves have been used several times already. Now, what would make more sense, okay, and make it sound like a fucking adult conversation if people would say the gloves were thinly padded. They have hardly no fucking padding. The same way, like I did a video and let y'all hear, which I'm pretty sure y'all seen it, but people like to forget shit when the point that they tried to make at one point in time now goes against what they're trying to say now. Floyd Sr. said, no, those gloves ain't got no padding. No, we're not using those. Another time, where Leonard Ellaby was there and Floyd Jr. was there, and Floyd said, nah, we're not using those gloves, and neither are y'all. That's okay? That's what you're supposed to do. If you're not comfortable with something, you say, nah, we're not using those, like Floyd did. You don't sit back, because think about this, okay? It's not just the fighter that's using the gloves. It's the opponent as well. They get to, okay, yeah. Or whoever the representative of your team is. All right, man, those are good. We can go with those. So that means that's what JD's did. But for some reason, it's like the delusional shit is what y'all want to hold on to. So somehow, when JD's left the room, even though there's still commissioners in there, but when JD's left the room, somehow they just took all that tape off, untied his fucking glove, snatched the fucking cushion out, then put the glove back on, retaped his hand, and I mean, come on. And y'all know this based on what? Nothing but speculation. For the fucking 1 millionth time, that's all I'm hearing is speculation. How the fuck do you have proof that happened? No. Now you're saying, well, the possibility, we can't just dismiss that. Yes, we fucking can. You know why? Because nobody has proven nothing that they said. Everything is just hearsay. How can we sit here and take that shit to face value that, you know what? They could be right. When nothing else that they said has come into fruition. How many times do we have to say that? So y'all can keep putting that picture up there, drawing that little red circle around it. Don't prove shit. And Wilder himself, you're gonna see the videos. By the time I put this video up, y'all probably would have already seen it. Wilder himself, when you listen to the interview, I did a video where I put him speaking. Everything that you hear is the fighters and trainers, them speaking, not me repeating shit, them talking. You know what Wilder said about Fury? He said, I still don't see Fury as the champ. I was like a zombie in there. Wow, Fury know that wasn't me in there. But you know what? We got one more. We got third fight. And that's really going to tell who the real champ is. And I don't hear, something was wrong. Definitely his gloves was tampered with. I got hit. It felt like, it didn't feel like a glove. No. And if that shit would have been the case, come on, man. Like I said, you think Wilder is fucking stupid that, this motherfucker ain't got no pad in it. That's bare knuckle. But you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing. If Deontay Wilder had a fucking an X-ray done, okay? If he had MRI, anything, and the doctor told him there is a dent in your skull from a metal object. Like, how the fuck, first of all, would the doctor be able to determine what the fuck you was hit with? But if that was the case, if Deontay Wilder had all that fucking evidence, why would anyone other than Deontay Wilder have it? It's his medical records, right? Do you think that Deontay Wilder would sit back and try to protect Fury? And especially now, when Fury already is saying that. Now, the funny thing is, the pro Wilder channels is trying to make it sound like Fury's ducking him, like he's scared. No. Fury's saying no. Okay, Wilder got surgery, which we knew about. I don't know why everybody act like that's something new. We knew that he was getting surgery. He's saying if they're going to push this fight back, well, and they have pushed it back. He's like, I don't want to fucking wait. That's too much. I'm training. And so he's saying he don't want to wait for Wilder. He want to just fight basically some meatball. And then he want to go and fight Anthony Joshua, which basically clearly makes it apparent that, well, people keep saying, it's in the contract. There's no contract. It's a verbal contract. Like we've been saying this for the longest. It's a verbal contract. It's not even a contract. It was an agreement that, okay, yeah, we could do a third one, but all this shit's going on. And it's taking longer. And again, if he was to be stripped, it will be because his mandatory is Dillian White, and he's trying to avoid fighting Dillian White. That's the person he's trying to avoid. He's not trying to avoid Wilder. He's trying to avoid Dillian White. At the end of the day, okay, this is criminal charges, man. If this shit was true, this would be criminal charges. You think that Wilder would have all this information and just hide it? So the doctor told me I got a dent in my head from a metal object that Fury hit me with. And I'm just not going to say anything. I hear all this controversy going on from all these people that support me, and I'm not going to step in and say nothing. I'm not even going to talk to them. I'm just going to stay silent. Everything that we're talking about is speculation. You can't show me a fucking picture and say that's proof. No, it's not proof. It's not proof because it's a fucking picture and you can't see what's under the fucking glove. Again, man, it's so funny because I'm like, well, this is what we were just talking about. I have a pair of gloves the same way, and I'm like, yeah, and I just was sitting there doing this, right? And you know what was so funny? One pair, it takes a lot longer, and plus my hands wasn't sweaty. But the pair that the thin horsehair protect. Immediately you start to see the flatness and you start to be able to see prints. Okay, so again, to say there's very little padding in these gloves. So when you heard Floyd Mayweather Sr. say there's no pad in these gloves, no, he's not telling you it's just a piece of leather and that's it. He's telling you the pad in that shit is thin, it's worn, or they just made thin like that. We're not wearing those. That's why you have the term a puncher's glove and a boxer's glove. That's why you had that term. Would it make any sense to say, oh, this is a puncher's glove, but it had the same equal amount of padding and protection around the hands and all as a boxer's glove, as what they consider a boxer's type glove? Would it make any sense? No. And that's the reason why they have these labels. So for everybody that keeps saying, oh, but the pictures show, listen, man. There's so many pictures that you could have that you can look at from that fight that have different angles of the gloves, and from different points in time in the fight. Gloves get worn through time, but at the same time, if you look, It's so funny how the glove looked nice and smooth on so many photos, but we just ignore those. Let's show the ones that we can make a try to might be able to fuck with people's head with. And this is basically it's not proving anything. I don't give a shit who the fighter was. That type of information is like, come on, man. Sporting Icon said this is not coming from Wilder. No, I don't. No. This is coming from, like he said, Wilder, to be the intelligent guy that I know he is. I know this is not coming from Wilder. Wilder didn't tell anybody Tyson Fury cheated. And when you hear Wilder speak himself, every interview you heard Wilder have, it took him for a long time to finally say anything. But when he did, the one thing never came out of his mouth was that Fury cheated. He never said anything. All this shit, even, I mean, I've even seen channels put shit up saying, Wilder says, Kenny Bayless, oh, he'll take a point from me, but he let Fury do whatever he wanted. Do y'all forget in the 5th round, he deducted a point from Fury? So I'm like, Wilder couldn't have said that dumb shit. But that's clickbait. Because if you say Wilder said it, oh shit, let me see what Wilder said. Boom, they click on your bullshit video and you never once say anything that Wilder actually said. You're saying, like some dude actually said that Blue Blood spoke to Wilder. I watched the Blue Blood video. Blue Blood not one time said anything about him speaking to Wilder. He never once said that shit. Blue Blood, that's the interview with, and then this guy Drew or whatever his name was on his show. Whatever. I know the video I watched. When I watched it, I'm like, okay, and I'm listening. I watched the whole entire long ass video, and Blue Blood never once said I spoke to Wilder in that video. If he spoke to Wilder, let me tell you how this is bullshit. Even if he was to say he did. If Wilder is being silent and don't want to say nothing about it, why in the fuck would he allow you? He tell you, yo, don't say nothing, man. Let this shit ride. It is what it is. So all we keep hearing is the same speculation. And even when I'm talking to people and I'm like, hey, all I'm saying to people is this. Look at what you call evidence. Okay? Put yourself in them same shoes. You know what everybody says? I don't know what I would do. Okay, well, if you don't know what you would do, how could you speak for this man as to why he isn't doing anything? How can anybody just say, well, it's because, no. You know what I think is going to happen? I'm going to end this video with this. I believe through time, this shit's going to all blow away. Wilder's either going to dismiss this shit publicly if somebody mentioned, well, there was a lot of talk, and he's going to, and you know what? None of this shit that you hear, none of the shit that you hear is going to be a factor, just like it's not a fucking factor now. And then people's feelings are going to be hurt. They're going to make excuses and say, Wilder's just doing it to protect something, blah, 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 whatever. Trust me. That's what I'm going with. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this video. I will catch y'all on the next one.